Give yourself the gift of love. Give yourself the gift of your own time. Give yourself the gift of speaking your truth even when your voice shakes. Give yourself the gift of self-respect. Give yourself the gift of manifesting your dreams and what it is that you believe in. Give yourself the gift of never giving up for what you're trying to achieve in your life, because I tell you that you can achieve whatever you believe. It's not about you seeing it. If you can see it in your mind, you can achieve it in reality. I'm Luke, and you're listening to the Luke Mind Power Podcast. Welcome to another episode on the Luke Mind Power Podcast. It's a blessing to be alive, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys. I'm going to start this podcast episode by saying something that I just heard Les Brown say. He said, known hells are preferable to strange heavens. Let me let that sink in for a moment. Known hells are preferable to strange heavens. Why do we want to keep ourselves in a space or state of perpetual suffering? Well, because it's familiar. We're used to it. And this is the challenge of growth in 2024. And that's what this episode is going to be about, because I'm going to push you out of your comfort zone, because I need you to take action, okay? Because you can create heaven on earth if you decide to get yourself out of the bullshit that you've been dealing with time and time again, because somebody is listening to this podcast right now and you are allowing yourself to continue to stay in a state of suffering because of the relationships that you've got, the work that you're working in, how you're being treated, the people in your life that you're allowing to treat you a specific way. And a lot of the times that's what it is. But not only that, okay, you don't get away with it that easy. Just not other people's fault, just that. It's also you. It's also you being in your own way. But when we think about you being in your own way, what is that exactly? Well, it's your own mind. It's your own way of thinking. And this is the power that I want to remind you that you have in your life right now, that you can change your life. You can change it. You can change the way you think. You can change your reality, because you can change the way you think. Your thoughts create your reality. You've heard me say this time and time again, but I'll keep repeating myself, okay? You're the one that creates your life. You are the captain of your destiny. You are the one that picks up the pen today, okay? You turn the page on your life and you say, I am creating a new life from today onwards. I'm writing the story now. I'm in control, all right? I'm turning the page and I'm writing a new story. And this story is going to be a freaking #1 New York Times bestseller. This story is going to be something that a movie producer reads and goes, I want to make this into a blockbuster because I read it and it's just so extraordinary how this person turned their life around because they decided to say yes to themselves. They decided to show up. They decided to love themselves. They decided to be the hero of their life. And this is what it's about. It's about you coming back and saying, I'm going to have my own back. I'm going to be my own hero. And I know that you've heard me say, take responsibility of your life, but it's not that easy when we don't feel that good about ourselves. It isn't. And I know that many people say to me, it's easy for you to say, Luke. And I know that. I get it. But you have to feel it within yourself that you want change. If you don't want change, then you're going to stay the same. And that's why we go back to the quote again. Known hells are preferable to strange heavens. Because in creating the heaven, the heavenly experience, the amazing experience, oh my gosh, look at this life that I've created because I believed in myself, because I took action, because I got out of my comfort zone. I started doing shit I've never done before. I started surrounding myself with a new community, a new people. I started to live a bit of solitude and get to know myself a little bit and grow and expand. Do things I've never done before. And then what happened is I got out of my funk. I got out of my own way. See, many of us are just in our own way because of an old way of thinking. Now, if positive change is going to happen in your life, all you need to do is change the way you think. All you need to do is realize that, okay, there is somehow, some way that I got here. Choices, decisions, over time, relationships, how you were raised, the environment you were raised in, how your parents raised you. And so you got to look at yourself and ask yourself the question, is this really what my life is about? Where I'm at right now, is this it? Because the truth is, if you're sitting there going, you know what? I don't know. Is this really it? Is this who I am? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing in my life? And if you're sitting there going, I don't know, like there's something else, well, that's beautiful. And the first start of any sort of transformation, any sort of change, as I've experienced through the last 6 years of doing this work, is that my life didn't change until I actually started asking myself these questions. And it didn't happen over a small amount of time. This was going on for a while. I was questioning myself for ages. It was long. It was annoying because I was just like, fuck, what is it? What is it? What is it? Like, what am I good at? What is that spark in me? What is that passion that I have? And it's incredible that I've been able to turn my adversity and my emotional pain and my insecurities into my purpose. And I believe everybody has that ability to do that, is to overcome your pain, overcome your challenge, overcome what you have had to go through in life or have been going through in life, and then be able to teach other people to do the same. This is how we raise the collective consciousness. This is how we become more self-aware of our own individual power, that once upon a time you were in the slumps. Once upon a time you hit rock bottom. Once upon a time you were living a shit life. Once upon a time you didn't know how you were going to survive. Once upon a time it was so dark and you were taking antidepressants and you were fucking on anxiety medication and you were living really unhappily and you were really in a dark place. But once upon a fucking time, today is the day that all of a sudden you were like, hey, I'm not going to stay there anymore. I'm going to get myself out. Like, I want you to put your hands in the air and go, come on, I'm fucking excited. Yes, let's go. I'm listening to the Luke Mind Power podcast. This is the moment that I was been waiting for my whole life. And I'm ready for change. I'm ready for transformation. I'm ready for the next level. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of being in my own freaking way. That's where we need to get to. That's where you need to get to, because for things to change, you got to get out of your own way and say, you know what, man, I'm going to have my own back for once, motherfucker. That's what I'm talking about. You coming up and saying, man, I'm on the come up. I'm going to step up, I'm going to do this one day at a time. And that's how fast you're going to get there. One day at a time. One day at a time. Not going to happen straight away. Not going to happen fucking all of a sudden. It's going to happen one day at a time, just like one episode at a time. The Luke Mind Power podcast is growing. One episode at a time, I'm reaching more people. I'm able to network with other successful entrepreneurs and people who are doing bigger things, only because I decided to keep persevering. There is no way that some of these people that I'm having on the podcast would even want to do work with me, given I hadn't grown and become who I am. And so I just want to remind you that whatever you want to achieve in your life, it's possible. Just say that with me. I got my eyes closed because I'm connected with you. Just say it. It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. And just repeat this after me as well. And I learned this from Tony Robbins, Incantations, when he was sharing a story. He was saying he was walking and he said, I started to empower myself and I started to say, every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. Like, I want you to repeat that with me right now. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. You can change it and go, every day in every way, I'm getting stronger and stronger. Every day in every way, I'm getting stronger and stronger. It's up to you, ladies and gentlemen, to be the force. You are the force. Like in Star Wars. I've never watched Star Wars, and my name is Luke, so they say, Luke, may the force be with you. I'm like, motherfucker, it's fucking with me. I'm fucking here, man. The force is fucking with me. But I had to give myself the force, which is love, unconditional love, unconditional acceptance. Okay. You can give yourself the gift. Give yourself the gift of love. Give yourself the gift of your own time. Give yourself the gift of speaking your truth even when your voice shakes. Give yourself the gift of self-respect. Give yourself the gift of manifesting your dreams and what it is that you believe in. Give yourself the gift of never giving up for what you're trying to achieve in your life, because I tell you that whatever your mind can conceive, you can achieve. Whatever you believe, it's not about you seeing it. If you can see it in your mind, you can achieve it in reality. If you believe it, you can see it. You've got that power in you. Like, come on, man. It's the truth. So continue to imagine, continue to play that game of imagination, because no one else can see it. All right. No one else can see it, only you. And so you really have to own it. You have to be strong with it. Okay. And I'm here to continuously remind you that you can achieve it, that whatever you're dealing with right now, keep focusing on the end result. Start with the end in mind. Look ahead in 3 years' time, in 4 years' time, where you're going to be, and allow that be. Hold the vision, hold it in your freaking hand. As Bob Proctor says, if you can hold it in your head, you can hold it in your hand. And I think the hardest part about this journey of your success and whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, even though you may not have that specific thing that you're trying to achieve yet, right? You may not even know what it is, but keep working on yourself. Keep developing yourself, keep getting out of your comfort zone, keep stretching yourself, keep doing things you've never done before. Get up and speak, get up and learn how to freaking do salsa. Do things you've never done before, go and learn how to do fucking golf. Stretch your mind, get yourself out of your comfort zone. Go join, a gym, go and join a aerobics class. Go do things that you've never done before. Get yourself out there. You can't expect to meet new people or connect or learn from others or for things to just happen automatically. It's not going to happen. You've got to get out there. Go and learn a new language, sign up to something, do a personal development program, reach out to me and say, Luke, I want to grow, whatever it is for you, like take some action. In fact, I'm interested to know how many of you guys actually took some action and you picked up the pen this year and you turned the page and you started to be the one that's writing your own story. In fact, if you haven't already, and I invited you to do this last episode, send me a direct message on Instagram and say, Luke, I picked up the pen and I'm the writer of my story. I picked up the pen, I turned the chapter, and I'm taking my power back. That's what I want you to write to me. Luke, I picked up the pen and I'm taking my power back in 2024. Send me a direct message on Instagram. Do it. Go on there right now and go, Luke, I am taking my pen back and I am freaking taking my power back in 2024. Luke, I've taken my pen back and I'm taking my power back in 2024. Let's go. Do it. Send me a direct message on Instagram. Tell me that you're taking your power back, because this is where everything shifts in the right direction for you, right? You're the one that's in control. And I know that maybe if you don't seem like you're in control or things are not the way that you want them to be, this is the start of how things evolve and change. They're not going to change, okay, just overnight. It's not going to change just like that. It's going to change by thought, just with the intention. This is a seed that you're planting. Oh my goodness. That's how it happens. It's just by the thought of like the possibility. Oh my gosh. And then you keep feeding it, keep nurturing it, keep talking about it, because it will happen. And I believe in you. I know that you can do it. And I know that wherever you are around the world right now, you're listening to this. We need that affirmation. We need that positivity. We need someone to keep reminding us, to tell us that we're good enough, that we're capable, that we're intelligent enough, that we're smart enough, that we're strong enough. It doesn't matter what you've been through. It matters where you're going, okay? Because you're the one that's creating everything. You're the one that's in control of moving forward. And that's why I did an Instagram story. I'm doing my weights and I'm doing shoulders, and I'm like, hashtag keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Keep pushing forward. It's like, doing door sales, for example. I've heard heaps of stories. Les Brown is always talking about this, knocking on these doors and trying to sell. And, and people, a lot of people will say no and no and no. But, every no is one step closer to a yes. And some people could just give up after 10 tries or 20 tries or 100 tries and go, oh, well, this is not going to work. Not knowing that the 101st try could be the sale. The 102nd try could be the person that says yes. Could be the person that you've been waiting for, and if you don't try, you won't win. And this is the chances that we have to take in life, of taking action. It's like applying for jobs and you're like, oh my gosh, I've applied for 30 jobs and I just can't get a job. And it's like, what if you apply for the next one? You might get the job on the 31st time, but if you quit, you'll never get it. But then there's also reassess your strategy. Get a second opinion, check your resume or your CV, check out what am I doing wrong? Do I need to improve anything? Get someone to look at it, because sometimes we may be just not, doing things correctly and we need some help and guidance. That's why YouTube is your best friend. So whatever you're trying to figure out right now for 2024, if you're stuck with something or you want to discover something more, man, go on YouTube and type it in there. Ask Google. You've got the access to an abundance of information. There's no excuses for you to say, I don't know how to do it, or I don't know how to learn, man. That's the most ignorant answer or response you can ever have in your life. But again, if you don't want something, you're not hungry enough for it, then you'll find an excuse. But if you want it, mate, you'll get the results because you'll take action. That's the truth. Man, it's crazy. Like, I reflect on 2023 of how much growth I've had and how much I've grown and where I've come from and who I am today. And to know that, I'm reaching so many people and I'm here with you as well. I just want you to look at my journey, especially the podcast. Started it in August 2019. Time really does fly. And I'm telling you, man, that you can easily waste it. And I've done a very, very good job of being consistent and continuously posting and taking action. I love this quote by Jim Rohn. He says that the person who is willing to do more than what they get paid for will eventually get paid more than what they do. That really stuck with me. And I really see that with this podcast as well, because this podcast is free. I've mentioned this before. This is not something, and there's no one paying me to do this, And I really believe that, like providing value, putting out that good energy, it comes back. It comes back. I'm not asking for anything. I am sharing with you what I do and how I can help you, but this content is free. And I really love that Jim Rohn quote. It's like the person who's willing to go out there. And it's also kind of like, if you want to start something, if you want to become better at something, if you want to learn from other people, you want to work in an industry, go and work for free. Show people that you're so keen and that you're so dedicated and you love this space so much that they don't have a choice but to give you a job. And that's powerful, because you're like, yeah, man, how do you get your foot in the door when there's no opportunity? Do it for free. And I know that that's very hard for some of us, because obviously we need to make money and we need to survive and we need to put food on the table and stuff like that. But if you have an opportunity to do once a week or twice a week some volunteer work with an organization or something like that, so that you can learn the skills and you can see the environment and be around that space, take advantage of that. That's how you get your foot in the door. Because again, it's very easy to say, oh, well, nah, not good enough, can't do it, can't get the job. It's like, man, I want to volunteer. People in my team started off as volunteers. I'm like, you know what? Can't afford to pay you right now, but if you'd like to be a volunteer, then would love to have you on, and more than happy to train you and share. And then after, a certain amount of time, guess what? Now they're working with me. Now they are on my team. So you have to be willing. What are you willing? What is the price that you're willing to pay for you to get yourself to that next level, for you to learn the skill set? Because sometimes we're too hungry and we want things just to work out and fall on our lap straight away. And that's not the way that it works. It's not that easy. You have to be willing to put in the work. You have to be willing to show up. You have to be willing to be active. You have to be willing to be so good they can't ignore you. I remember that. And that's how you attract amazing opportunities into your life, because you master yourself. You become good at that which you're passionate about. You become the best version of yourself. You become magnetic to success because you become it. Your energy shifts. You take care of yourself. You're positive. You're motivated. You're inspired. You're powerful. You know your worth. And then, there's so much that comes your way because you just don't quit, But again, it is a long journey. You've got to understand that it doesn't just happen overnight. You don't get an amazing physique or, results in your health, for example, overnight. You have to start. You don't lose 50 pounds in one day. A child, when it's born, doesn't become 10 years old in 6 weeks. There is a journey. There's a journey of growth, and I just want to remind you of that, because it's so easy to think like it's taken too long. We get impatient, but man, stick with whatever you're trying to achieve. Stick with it. Stick with becoming a better version of yourself. Stick with healing your past. Stick with learning to love yourself more. Stick with positive affirmations. Stick with journaling. Stick with exercising. Stick with pursuing that job that you want. Stick with that degree that you're studying. Stick with whatever it is that you're struggling with continuing to push forward in, because you're losing patience. Stick with it. But become aware of what it is that possibly you're doing that maybe you're not interested in. Like, for example, if you're studying something and you're only doing it because your parents want you to do it, or you're only doing it because you want to please your partner, that's just stupid. Tap into something that is very good for you, that you enjoy, that fuels you, that inspires you, that you're excited about, because that's where it's going to come naturally. Like this podcast, you don't have to force me to do this. I enjoy it. I enjoy getting on here and speaking, which is why it's so easy for me. And that's why it's like one of the best things that you can ever do in your life is to discover your purpose, is to really work on yourself and to be connected with yourself, so that you can really tap into what it is that you really enjoy doing. And it's a dream come true to be able to do what I love and get paid for it. That's like one of the ultimate dreams, So if that's not what you're doing and that's what you want to do, well, how does that become a reality in your life? Well, get around more people that are doing that, because you become who you surround yourself with. Isn't that brilliant? I always say this to you guys, you become who you surround yourself with. So if you start surrounding yourself with people who are doing what they love and they're getting paid for it, well, in time, if you keep surrounding yourself with these kind of people in this kind of an environment, that's what's going to happen to you. If that's what you want. or you can keep doing what you've always done, and then you'll keep getting what you've always gotten, and then nothing will change. It's up to you. Guys, more events coming up. More events coming up. I'm freaking pumped. I'm excited for you guys, okay? Make sure you click the link in the description below. Check out what's happening on the Luke Mind Power website, because if there's anything that I love is connecting with you guys in person. I can't wait to see you up at our upcoming events. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. They're life-changing, transformational. If you know anything about me, you know that, hey, man, I'm not talking about no bullshit. I'm just talking about your success. And that's all I'm here to help you achieve. And I can't wait to see you at these events and meet you in person. I love connecting, hugging you guys, and just, knowing that you guys have changed your lives, because I decided to change my life too. And, and there's so many of us, you know what I mean? There's so many of us. So I feel very grateful and blessed to be where I'm at, that I didn't give up. So now I can meet you guys in person, which is phenomenal. So make sure you check out our upcoming events, and just keep going, keep pushing forward, like I said earlier, and never give up, okay? Because you're so much further away from where you used to be, and you're so much closer to where you're going to be. But remember, the journey of success is in the present moment. It's really not about attaching yourself to that future. It's being inspired by what you're achieving, but live in the present moment, man. Enjoy life as it is, because this is all you have. Tomorrow's not promised. Live in this present moment and keep believing in yourself, because you are absolutely amazing. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into another episode on the Luke Mind Power podcast. Absolutely a blessing to spend some more time with you. Precious time that we cannot get back. So really, I emphasize that all the time. Use the time. Don't waste it, okay? Because you just get closer and closer to your dreams when you use the time. Find your balance. And know that it's not supposed to be perfect. You're supposed to make mistakes. You're supposed to fail. You're supposed to fall. You're supposed to learn from these experiences, okay? And remember, the lesson will keep showing up until you learn it, okay? So whatever that is that you're continuously doing on repeat or tolerating continuously over time, over and over and over again, eventually you're going to pay attention. And maybe today's the day where you go, you know what? I'm done. I'm not tolerating that bullshit anymore. I'm learning the lesson, and I'm moving forward. So anyway, guys, I believe in you. I love you. Let's keep growing. And if you haven't already, please leave me a 5-star rating and a review on the Apple Podcast platform, or on Spotify if you're listening on there. And if you haven't subscribed to the Luke Mind Power YouTube channel, click that red subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you get notified every time a new episode is released. And make sure you share this podcast with your friends. Until next episode, guys, keep pushing. You're amazing, and I believe in you, and I'll see you soon. Peace out. Thank you for joining me on this journey of self-discovery and growth. If you're ready to grow and reach your full potential and find inner peace, send me a DM that says, I want inner peace, and I'll send you the next steps. You can accomplish anything you set your mind to. When you change your mind, you change your whole life. So don't hesitate and send that DM over to me. Myself and my team can't wait to meet you and witness your transformation in full glory. See you next week.